The face changed, the locations changed, but the story remains painfully the same. In the last 5 years, Delhi has witnessed a series of devastating fires in factories, hospitals, residential buildings, and commercial establishments. Every tragedy has exposed serious questions about safety compliance, illegal operations, and enforcement failures. After every disaster, there has been promise of stricter checks, tougher action, and comprehensive audits. On this issue, I am joined by Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Urban Secretary, Government of India, Chairman, Smart Cities Technical Committee, Serafino Kota, social activist and former President, Small and Medium Hotel Associations, R.C. Sharma, former Director, Delhi Fire Services, Dilip Cherian, Brand Guru, Sanjay Sahai, retired IPS officer and activist. But let me first go to Dr. Sudhir Krishna, former Urban Secretary, Government of India. Sir, there are two ways to look at this tragedy. One is that a standalone incident, tragic, people died, lack of inspection. And another is to frame it in the context of the way urban India is expanding, growing, and there is no accountability, lack of vigilance. And in past, Delhi has seen also fires in multi-story areas where even fire extinguishers could not reach. So I would like to frame this conversation, not debate, conversation in the context of latter, sir. Are we getting our urban story right or wrong?
No, absolutely. Your question is very pertinent, and because urbanization is not adequately, we have not reached the optimal level of urbanization in India. We are just about 35% urbanized. It is going to very soon, it is going to become 50%. In percentage term, in number term, we are going to have huge ingress of population to the cities. And it is very necessary that cities equip themselves with proper planning and governance systems. So Delhi is a very typical case. Half of the Delhi is in slums, and it is not going to sustain. And here and there people are migrating because agriculture is no longer as much profitable as it used to be before, in spite of the prices going up. But the land holdings are shrinking, and many of the factors are there. People are migrating to cities, but this because of the lack of proper planning, because municipalities and town planning department and development authorities have not equipped themselves to proactively handle the situation. What is happening is people are converting single story building into multiple story buildings. Whether it is small building or big building, everybody is adding floors where the roads are not enough, water infrastructure is not good enough, and safety issues are not there. There are very strict provision on paper, documents, the manuals, codes. Fantastic provisions are there. Nothing will happen, nothing will go wrong. National Building Code provides fire safety arrangements. It's perfect. It is incorporated into the municipal corporation bylaws. But this one case we cannot dissect too much. The entire Delhi is it has umpteen, it is full of such cases. So I think it is a governance issue, and it is high time that municipal corporation gear themselves up and undertake a thorough survey of all the buildings, because residential buildings are being converted into commercial buildings. The whole system is not geared to handle, it is not possible. In a building which is for commercial purpose, more than 15-meter height, there has to be 2 exits and entry, 2 ingress points have to be there. Fire systems have to be there, but it is not, because the building was given as residential, converted into commercial. People are closing balconies, they are not allowing, the people cannot jump out safely, they cannot, and they are installing so much of woodwork is there inside the house, electronic systems are there, electrical arrangements are there. So I think it is high time that we think of India as Viksit Bharat, not just in terms of schemes and programs, but governance also.
Okay.
So I would recommend to municipal corporation to strongly take it as a case in point and conduct survey for the whole of the city of Delhi.
Okay, let me take opening comments from Mr. Cherian. Sir, your opening comments.
Thank you, Kartikeya, and I'm very glad that you are doing a very measured rather than a hysterical program. And Mr. Krishna has mentioned a very important, 2-3 important facts, but of rapid urbanization, inability of the corporations to cope with it, and the need to have more monitoring and regulations. But I think that, honestly speaking, this is an issue of blatant corruption. Corruption which starts at the municipal street level and goes all the way up to the very top. We can talk about rules and regulations, but we've had 24 lift tragedies before they managed to put a notice in every lift which says how many people are allowed in it. What does it cost to have a similar notice outside every building saying how many occupants at any point of time are allowed inside a restaurant or a commercial establishment? It's not rocket science. It is simply corruption from the grassroots all the way leading up to, unfortunately, very high levels. And the who is involved in it? The people who are investors in these places. The victims are the people who are the hapless users of these premises. It's not about regulation. As Mr. Krishna said, we have wonderful regulations in place. And the fear is that more regulation just makes it more likely that the rule enforcers have opportunities to get more bribes. That is the fundamental issue. And Karthika, there's no point running away from it. There is no other issue here. It is very simply that.
Okay, let me go across to Mr. R.C. Sharma, former Director, Delhi Fire Services. So, what I have decided to do in the show is to play out those visuals, one made by the agencies, and there is a second set of visuals which have been made by the people themselves. And I've chosen to run those visuals made by people themselves just to demonstrate that one, it took time for the fire tender services to come there. Secondly, the first evacuation effort was done by the locals themselves. If you look at, they took out mattresses and people were jumping from the second floor. Third, sir, it's now being said that the fire started from the basement of the kitchen. So my question is, so very, very simple. This, which I have realized that it happens in rich colonies, it happens in poor colonies, it happens in residential societies. This alteration of the land use, extension and alteration. This place demonstrates both, sir.
I think this area is for residential area, but the hotels and this restaurant, they also guest houses, they come in the residential category itself when we talk about building bylaws. But then certain rules are to be followed when we are running these as a guest house or a hotel. Now, main thing you're talking about, first thing you said, time the fire brigade takes and all that. Yeah, it depends on the distance of the fire station from the nearby place. I mean, where the fire has happened, what time they were given the call. So we can see that, find out very well. I mean, what time they received the call and how much time it takes for that to them to come. What is the distance and all that, and road condition, maybe traffic and all that. So that's one issue. I think we can take it separately. But main thing is, the people are dying there. Why they died? Well, they did not die because of they are burnt in fire. They died because they could not get out of the building once the fire was started there. So now this part, that means of escape should be available to the people living there. They should remain unaffected for first few minutes, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, so that if there is a fire at ground level, they should not smoke, should not enter the staircase. If you are having a ground floor being run as a restaurant, kitchen, then things are, and you have got internal access to the staircase, then we are bound to have this problem. If the staircase going up was not going through the restaurant, it was coming straight outside, I think people could have come out. There was no reason for that.
I'm also joined by Dr. P.S. Rana, Chairman, Construction Industry Development Council. Thank you so much, sir, for joining me. Your opening comments on the fire that claimed 21 lives in Malviya, Nagar, sir.
Our main issue is the supply of commercial properties in the city. We, in the planned areas, it is so much inadequate that all villages have practically a ghetto for the commercial activity. I think that is the first planning issue which we are ignoring. If the commercial properties are not constrained in the developed areas or the planned areas, and they are, I would say they should be even, if not cheaper, at least not more than residential areas, the cost of rent or construction of the commercial properties. Then all the urban villages, which are becoming a biggest slum for this region, can be controlled. That is number one. Number two, we have bylaws, but we don't enforce them. And there is no way how this can be controlled unless our planning is made very simple. and I would even call it, even if it is the cost-free approvals are given, so that nobody is denied the approval, or nobody feel that approval is difficult. Because now, if you don't get the approval, people will go construct unauthorizedly. So there is no monitoring and no enforcement. I think the basic things we have to see at the macro level, and all the bylaws and planning rules have to be enforced strictly.
Okay. Mr. Sahay, you also spoke about enforcement. Uh, India is not a thinly populated country. I mean, so let's get down to the facts. It's a very densely populated country. I mean, so there are lakhs and lakhs of people who come. There are places which they can afford. There are places which they cannot afford. And in this city, you require a fan, a water connection, something to make you, so that you can at least have a comfortable night. How do you regulate that? I mean, say if you, for example, go to these urban areas, for example, my office is in sector 125. So part of this Noida is very well developed. But there are a lot of semi-urban pockets. Most of the people who come from outside, young journalists, they stay in these urban villages because the rest of the area is unaffordable. They can't be staying in JP, or they can't be staying in those expensive flats, ATS. Where do they stay? They stay in these urban villages. Affordable, cheap, less regulation, नीचे दुकान भी है, खाने की भी दुकान है, खरीदने की भी दुकान है. You can stay upstairs also. So we also have to look at the way. Yes, sir.
It is not a question of less regulation, and that does not mean anything. It does not cut ice. If the municipal governance of Delhi or Bombay or whichever the place may be, if they have decided that something would be low-end areas and the rules of the game will be different from the rules of the game for the high posh areas or whatever. The reality of the matter is that the laws are being flouted in nearly the same manner in rich, poor, and every single place.
Yes.
And there is a total collusion of municipal governance with all the stakeholders. And what Mr. Cherian was talking about, it is at the end of the day a fast buck which is to be made by each and every one of these guys. Let the government accept the
No,
fact.
I don't disagree
that
with
these
Mr.
are-
Cherian. I think he made a very good point that in modern India, civic governance has become a big issue. I completely agree with him. I was just trying to say that there is also another reality, which is our population.
No, I'm coming to the reality. But the point is, if there's another reality, we will not run away from governance, right? If the powers that we have decided that there should be no governance in this country, we have nearly reached that state. From exams to urban local bodies to literally anything and everything. So if we are ready to take that point of view, that there will be low-end areas where everything will be allowed to happen.
No,
then
I'm
what
not
about
taking that view. No, you got me wrong. I'm not taking that view. I was bringing your attention to another facet of urban India. It's not uniform.
No, that facet is there. That facet is a reality. And urban migration is nothing new for last 2 years or 3 years. Now you have been talking about Delhi. I came to Delhi in 1982. And from New Delhi railway station, if I remember correctly, I went to a place which was known as the Chaudhary Tourist Lodge in Paharganj. Okay, so I'll not get into the niceties of all that. So these are realities of our existence. Nonetheless, if the government starts accepting the de facto existence and does not do anything about it, so end to end, it will crack, it will creak, and there will be nothing
Let
for
me
us to
reframe the
escape.
question, sir. What should be done? You tell me. More teeth to the municipal officers?
No, should I?
I'll just finish with that. First
Should I
and
add into
foremost
it?
is
So, let him complete. Yeah.
I'll just
No, Mr. Sai, you complete first. Then I'll go to Mr. Rana. You complete
first and foremost is accountability. You are tasked with a job, you attend to that job, and your bosses will certify whether a job has been done or not. Number one. Number two, there are no inspections happening. Number three, if these accidents don't happen, then everything is supposed to be hunky-dory. Number five, when this happen, there is clear-cut criminal liability. It is culpable homicide not amounting to murder for that particular person who has not given permission or who has not enforced the thing. If a 5-6-story room structure turns out to be 21-story room structure and no regulatory agency can see anything whatsoever, I think God only can save us. So there are standard protocols. It has to happen. All those protocols, all of us know.
Okay.
And that needs to be implemented. And finally, the audacity of doing things which are wrong and the capability and the ecosystem allowing you to get away with it.
Okay, R.C. Sharma, former director, Delhi Fire Services, is back with us. I thought he has gone away. Thank you, sir. My question is like now forward-looking. What needs to be done? More laws,
Yes,
better enforcement, more teeth to the municipal officers. How do we do it?
Should
Well,
I
as
come in?
enforcement of the whatever rules and regulations are formed, that is the must. And that's the first thing to do. If we do that, probably these things will not happen because we don't have that much of people staying in an unauthorized area where they do not have any facilities which are otherwise required for this. I would like to say one thing that we have been talking about the unauthorized colonies, congested areas, Sadar Bazaar, Gita Colony, and other things, Padganj. See, there is no solution for that because we don't have regular fire hydrant lines having water 24/7. We cannot take fire engines there. There's a difficulty. Fire brigade cannot reach in time. That's a problem. So, what is required to be done? See, what we can do is, I mean, we have, rather, I have taken it with the BIS, and they have now recently given a study to the one of the MNITs, and they approved the sprinkler system operated by the gravity water tanks. The water tank which is supplying to our toilets and kitchen, same thing can be used with a 500 liters capacity or whatever is there. That's good enough for that. CPVC pipes, and they can bring down the pipes, maybe one of the highest building in a row like Sadar Bazaar, and 5, 6, 7 shops, they can be connected to that. So water is not going to be used. Once it is to be filled in there, that's okay. If there is a fire, this water will start sprinkling onto the place where the fire has taken place, whichever room it has happened. And we have seen in Delhi, wherever this thing was provided, the fire has not gone out of the room where it started, even in our government secretariat, Delhi secretariat building. So we have seen in many places in my during this experience where this sprinkler system, because it bursts only when temperature is 70 degrees, is 68 at that point, and naturally that will water will be sprayed only there, and output is 30 or 40 liters per minute. So you don't need 5, 10 minutes. If they are is able to hold the fire, everybody can get out. So that is for the congested areas. I think when a solution is there, maybe BIS will be having this as a approved solution for that, and maybe coming for these buildings. So far as high-rise buildings are concerned, I don't think Delhi, we didn't have many incidents, and 200-300 incidents have happened throughout the year. Hardly any deaths have taken place because they are meeting all the basic requirements of the firefighting facilities, means of escape. They are approved by the concerned authorities and fire brigade also. Things are provided. Maybe they are maintained or not maintained, but by and large, they are having these things. And we have seen that high-rise buildings, they are not having many incidents. I think hardly 2 or 3 in the last 3, 4 years. But many people are dying in the low-rise building, which are out of the purview of this Fire Service Act, less than 15 meter.